Okay, welcome all Materials and Methods Diploma students. This is a video I'm producing specifically tailored to some aspects of Project 3, so research project, or research task 3, sorry, Project 1, where we have to be specifying on-site wastewater and also dedicated firewater supply. So I'll just quickly get into Materials and Methods page. That on Learn. As we scroll down here, I've added a few extra things into this services section today. So click on that, services, and then also at the same time I'll get an online program happening called SA Map Viewer. So for those of you at home, or expected that you have internet access, we need that for watching this video anyhow. So type in SA Map Viewer to your browser. SA Map Viewer, click on that. And it'll take you to this. So location SA Map Viewer. So I encourage you to get this going, possibly in another side window or so, while you're watching the video, or even afterwards. So this is a really good geographic information service that's put out by Land Services Group, so state government owned department. Although there's some privately owned interests supplying information to this as well. Anyhow, what it is, it's a geographic information service that pulls together all of the government departments and previous government departments' information into a geographic information service. So what we can do is we can search for an address. I won't use the subject property at Finisvale Drive. I'll grab another one. So I'm not really Porsche the keyword. The road Bellevue Heights. Let's have a look at this one. So here we go. So that's just up the road from the tape. We've pan out a bit. We see the Tonsley building down here, so the whole old main centre building. So just up the road from us here. Now this is the satellite image, and we have various different maps we can choose from. With this, we've got I can click on roads. Roads shows the location of roads and also the property boundaries. Now these are not legally reliable. You're not going to, transpose that information to this information. You go, hey, my neighbour's encroaching on my property, so it's not a legally binding survey, but it is indicative. So it gives those property boundaries, and also there's also a cadastral map here. Sorry, topographic map. Cadastral map shows property boundaries. Topographic map shows topography of the surface. So we can see that we've got slope on here, and we've got 188 metres above sea level there and 190 here, so they're in 2 metre increments. If we wanted to get fancy, we can click into tools here, grab the measuring pen and measure that distance. So we'll start from distance there and then double click on that one. We've got 2 metres of fall over 13 metres of run. So that's approximately 1 in 6.6 metres. So every 6.6 metres of run, we've got 1 metre in fall. So that can be important information at times. Those things. So this geographic information service also provides you with those things like where the property boundaries are, topography, etc. But the main part of this is that it links in a whole heap of information. So we can click on landscape and water, environment and climate, land management, infrastructure and utilities. So the first one I'll decide to click is landscape and water, and we'll drop down this arrow for water. A whole bunch of things we could put in there. I'm looking for water courses. Water courses, there we go. Put that in. So the reason we want to know water courses is because there are restrictions around what you can do in terms of building adjacent a registered water course. So there'll definitely be some restrictions on what can be done on this allotment 21 and possibly on this allotment 19 too. So we've got some things there. I won't click on water bodies or water protection areas. It's getting possibly a little bit beyond the scope of what we need to be looking at. So that's landscaping water. We can click on things like that. Land management, plenty of really interesting things in land management for building designers. Probably the most utilised one will be, or tab you'll be using is this one, property and planning. So under property and planning, there's a whole host of things. So we can go bushfire protection areas. There we go, all of a sudden there's a shading imposed. On the site there we've got blue for medium, red for high. Do design wind speed. Now that, because we've already got a design wind speed, is also shown by shading, so we can't add too many shadings on there, otherwise it gets a little bit confusing. We can then click on the site, and we go to got this, we've got bushfire protection area, it shows is medium. Next, we've got our design wind speed. So we can still get that information even if it's not shown diagrammatically on there. So we just get that by double clicking. So close that one down. Might turn design wind speed off because we don't need that actually for what we're doing today. But there's a whole heap of other things. Earthquake hazard zones, energy efficiency climate zone is an important one for you. Development plan map index, land development plan zone categories is a great one. Other important stuff right down the bottom, you've got survey marks, etc. So SA heritage places, res code. So res code, that's an important one for designers. So res code is a fast track simplified approval method that is applicable to some areas. So this shows areas where res code is available. Anyhow, without digressing too much, we can also click on parcel cadastre. So parcel cadastre shows us property boundaries. There we go, our property boundaries put in place, or valuation cadastre. That typically lines up perfectly with our parcel cadastre, but in certain circumstances it doesn't. I won't go into that so much, but just be aware of that as building designers, that sometimes your valuation boundaries differ from your parcel boundaries, but only in their circumstances. So we've clicked on our bushfire attack level and our water courses. What I also want to do, so I'll step on back, is head into this one, infrastructure and utilities. So then under infrastructure and utilities, we've got a few things. Reclaimed water main, that's an interesting one. Certainly these ones are also important for building designers, but we won't go into that. What I will do though, is we've got various different wastewater options. Now, from memory, at the back of this property, we've got a gravity wastewater main. So there we go. So we've got a wastewater main which is actually gravity fed. We can choose low pressure, water pumping, vacuum, etc. And so we can choose those ones for determining where our wastewater main is. This one I happen to remember that it's gravity fed wastewater main there. But also what we want is water supply main as well. So click that one on, and there we go. Now we've got some funny stuff happening here. If we head back to our satellite view, we notice, oh okay, we've got an SA water header tank happening at this location, supplying to a well, actually receiving from a pumping station and supplying gravity feed to certain areas. So that's an interesting one. We'll flick that back to rows just to keep things nice and clean. So that's SA map view. Now, why have I chosen these things? Well, I'll go ahead and show that now. So the things I added under services today. Well, this one was already here, the SA Health on-site wastewater, and for your research task number 3 for project 1, you are to specify a on-site wastewater system. So for doing that, you'll have to do that in accordance with both this on-site wastewater, so SA Health on-site wastewater guidelines. Now those guidelines are important things for building designers to know. In short, a building designer has to specify doing a project where you don't have mains sewer or connection to a sewer, you have to do an on-site wastewater. and that has to be designed by an on-site wastewater engineer. Now, so they have the final say. The reason this is important for designers to understand is because you are going to be interacting with that wastewater engineer. You don't just want the wastewater engineer to go, this is what we're doing and this is where. You want to advocate for your client's wishes on behalf of various different aspects to try to get things through by the engineer. So it's important you understand these things, and it's also important that you can give your client a bit of a heads up and say, look, you know, if we've got a creek nearby, we're going to have to check to see if that's a registered watercourse, because we can't do our septic circuit within 50 metres of that. Or if you have a bore on your site, we can't do it within 50 metres of that. If, you know, at that creek, we can't do our septic system within the tank within 10 metres of that watercourse, or below certain flood levels, etc. So all of that information is in here. Now, it is a fairly weighty document. I certainly don't expect you to understand it in entirety, but I've provided it here for you to have a bit of a look at and a bit of a perusal. The main thing that you're going to be looking at for your Project 3 is actually these two. So this is also taken from the SA Health site. So any wastewater system has to be designed by a wastewater engineer, but also has to use products which are approved for use in South Australia. So we've got approved wastewater products. So this is all your biocycles and Fuji cleans and things like that, all of your aerated wastewater systems. And they're also approved alternative systems. So there are various different reembed systems and sand filtration and other types of wastewater treatment systems that if your client is wants to incorporate sustainable aspects to it, so low energy use and things like that, and reuse of water on the site without chlorination, things like that, then some of these may be appropriate for you as well. So go through those, have a look at these, and think about which system you want to specify in your project or in your research task. And then once you've chosen that, just do a bit of Google search on those, or in the process do a Google search on those, and have a look. So I've provided those there for you, and the SA Health on-site wastewater guidelines. Now, why do we need to look at SA Map Viewer? Well, I'll just flick that back again. So SA Map Viewer, it shows us here that for this property we have a gravity main. So for this property we don't need to do an on-site wastewater. However, with our property, and I won't go into that now, but the property at Second Valley, that may not have mains sewer. So then if it doesn't have mains sewer, then we need to do an on-site wastewater system. Also, the other information that we can get from this is our water main as well. If we flick back to the Learn site, we have a look at on-site wastewater. So we'll use this link here and open the document. There is a section here that explains that. Now, what are my page numbers for that? It's in sizing of systems. So page 29. We're just trying to do this relatively quickly and write quite a summary for you. So there's all this information here for you in this document. I'll just get us down to page 29. There we are. It's above that. Right. So maybe I marked the wrong section. Sizing of the. Okay, so that's sizing of the irrigation area. So that's for the subsurface. So within now it's on another page. I won't flick through, so I'll leave this for you to have a bit of a look at. But we've got sizing of our irrigation areas for either subsurface or site disposal, and the way that's done is by multiple. So your minimum size system has to be for 6 people. So if you're building a residence anywhere, it has to be minimum 6 people. And if you're connected to a water main, it's considered that the people on mains water use 150 litres of water per day. Now, these are estimates of what people use. Certainly, some of you use a lot less, but then some of you may even use more than that per day. When a house is linked up to tank water, it's reduced to 125 litres per day. So, for working out the size of the system and the soakage area, we have to use that 125 in that calculation if it's on tank water, so if we don't have water mains, or if we do have water mains, then it's 6 people by 150 litres per day, and then divided by 4.5 litres per square metre per day soakage. That's a rough calculation for South Australia, and that means you need 200 square metres of soakage area. So now those soakage areas can be increased or decreased depending on the soil and the decisions made by the wastewater engineer. But obviously, if we're getting to 200 square metres there for mains water connection, if we were to reduce that to 125 for our tank, would be we're looking at probably around the 160 or so is pretty typical. I might just go so 150. Yeah, there we go. So our soakage area for the tank water is 166 square metres. So that's why on our SA map viewer, when we're doing our on-site wastewater system, we want to know, well, first of all, we want to know whether we actually even need one. If we don't need one, that's great. That will save us a lot of money in the development. If we do need one, because we don't have the sewer main, then do we have mains water? If we have mains water, then our soakage area is going to be around that 200 square metres. If we have tank water, then we can reduce that to around the 166 square metres. So then that's the SA Health on-site wastewater guidelines. I encourage you to have a good look at that and understand aspects of that over time, but for the minimum of what we need to do, we're going to be looking at just those aspects for our project. Then I'll also provide you here with an on-site wastewater example. So I'll just show you, I'll just quickly open that up there. So this shows the typical plan you would get back from your wastewater engineer showing how that irrigation area is set up. So actually it takes up a fair section of the block there, like that. So go back, but use that as a bit of an example, a bit of an idea if you wish, and then have a look at these ones for choosing your system that you want to put in your project. The second thing we had to do in that research task number 3 is minister specifications, so additional requirements for designated bushfire-prone areas. So we need to determine our water supply for that. I'll just make this a little bit larger. So for our water supply, we have to refer to this table, table 2.2. Now, if the property is connected to mains water, we only need to have 2,000 litres with domestic, standard domestic fittings for that water on-site dedicated water supply. So we have to have a tank with 2,000 litres of water in it. Now that's if it's connected to mains water and if it's within bushfire attack level, general or medium. So refer back to our map viewer. Now our property is within medium, it's that light blue, but we'll go back, quickly flip back to our minister specification once again. We've got in brackets if excluded, if within 500 metres of height. So if we're within 500 metres of height, then we need to have 22,000 litres plus fire, this fire plus, which is 5, oh, get that one out of the way, fire fittings are accessible to fire authority and must comply with 2.5. So we'll look at that in just a second. So if we're within 500 metres high, then we need to have 22,000 litres. If we're not connected to mains, the minimum is 5,000 litres plus domestic fittings. But if we're within 500 metres of the high bush fire attack level, then once again it has to be 22,000 litres. So regardless of whether we've got mains or not, if we're within 500 metres of high, then it's 22,000 litres. So now our high bushfire area is just over here, as designated by the pink. So if we get into our tools, get our measuring pen out, click over, how far are we? 30 metres away. That means we'll need to have 22,000 litres. So this is, by the way, this is not our subject property. I encourage you to go through this process to determine that for our subject property at number 116 Innisfail Drive. So that's how we look at that for Minister Specification SA78. So that relates to minimum requirements for on-site water storage for the CFS, which is imposed on all new buildings. And it referred also to section 25. That sets out the taps and fittings, etc., for that tank. And so a minimum outlet of 50 millimetre terminating in a 64 millimetre male or London rail thread. And then it goes into the CFS access to that water supply if it's more than 30 metres away from the road. So if you're building a bushfire prone area, it's certainly best for you to keep it within 30 metres of the road, because if you don't, then you have to provide these roads. So read through that, and that can also be quite a restriction in steep areas, because these roadways have certain turning areas and slope relationships of only 1 metre of rise in 3.5 metres of run. So there are restrictions around those access roads as well. We don't get into that with any of our projects, but have a good read through Minister Specification 78 as well for all the other interesting bits and bobs. But for the project, that's the basic of what you have to see. So best of luck with the assignment, and if you've got any further queries, by all means email me on that, and I'll hopefully be able to clarify any of those queries. Thank you very much.